Okay, today we're going to learn our next lesson, which is over proportions using cross products. You've been doing this since 6th grade. What you really need to understand is that you cannot put these types of equations in your calculator the way you see them. It will not solve it for you. Does everybody understand that? So you solve these by using cross products. What is a product? Multiplication. So you're going to cross multiply. Just like you did in 6th and 7th grade. Once you cross multiply, then the calculator will solve them for you. And on your assignment today, I'm not going to make you solve them by hand. I'm just going to make you do the cross products because you have to do those by hand. The calculator won't do them. Make sense? But for notes, we're going to practice solving them by hand so that we're still learning, yes? All right, so everybody look at the first one. To solve this equation, you cross multiply. So I'm going to do 6 times x. How would I write that? 6x. Equals 8 times 15, which is 120. You could now, if you want to, put this in y1, this in y2, and have the calculator solve it. But like, this is too easy. Can I just solve it by hand? There's only one step, right? How would I get rid of the 6? Divide by 6, and 120 divided by 6 is 20. Do y'all all understand that you cannot put this in your calculator? You have to do the cross product first. All right, let's try number 2. Do y'all already see the answer? Y'all should. How do you get from 4 to 24?
6.
So I'd have to go backwards, so 30 divided by 6 is? So this is like a 6th grade problem, right? But we're going to do it the algebraic way and cross multiply. A times 24 is? I don't even have everybody paying attention. And 30 times 4 is? Again, if I wanted to solve this in my calculator, okay, again, if I want to put this in my calculator, I would put this side in y1, this side in y2, but this is too easy, so I'm just going to do it by hand. I know that I'm dividing by 24, and 120 divided by 24 is? And we had actually seen that answer, yes? These are 6th grade problems. Now we're going to look at algebra problems, doing the exact same thing. And it's going to be easy because I'm going to let you use your calculator to solve these, okay? Here we go. I have to use cross multiplication, yes? So I'm going to do 4 times x, which is 4x, equals. Now I'm going to do 3 times that whole thing. Or could I just write it like this and let the calculator do the work?
Yes.
Or I could distribute it myself. It doesn't matter. But now the calculator can solve it. Okay, I'm going to solve it by hand. If you would like to do it in the calculator, that's fine, because I'm not going to make you solve them by hand tonight. So I have 4x equals, I would change 3x plus negative 3, because I distributed, yes. How would I get rid of this 3x? So I have 1x equals negative 3. And if I divide by 1, I'm just going to get negative 3. Are we okay? So the only thing you're going to have to be able to do is the cross products. All right, let's try the next one. Y'all want to try to set it up? Y'all can set it up and solve it in your calculator. Check with mine to make sure you set it up correctly. You can just solve it in your calculator if you want to. We're practicing. So if I solved it by hand, I would have Did we get -6? Okay, if we didn't get that, then we didn't put it in our calculator correct. So everybody look, because I'm seeing y'all are struggling. If I go to y1, I'm going to put in 6x. For y2, I'm going to put in 3, open parentheses, x minus 6. If you don't put the parentheses, the whole thing is wrong. And then second trace. Ooh.
You can press the background, press delete.
Yeah, I did. And my answer is -6. Are we okay? Try the next one. You can solve it in your calculator. Make sure you're typing it in correctly. So it should look like mine in your calculator. That is a -6, or you could have put plus -6, yes? Are we okay? Are we getting the right answers? All right, let's skip this next one because it's the same, and let's go to these bottom ones and talk about them. Do you see parentheses down here? But if I cross multiply, this 4 has to be multiplied by all of this. So what do you think I better put? If I don't put parentheses, the whole thing is going to be wrong. So I'm doing 4 times everything, 3m plus 6. And then I'm going to do 7 times all of that. So I must put the parentheses. If I don't, I have missed the whole thing. Did we get -3.4? Some of us didn't. All right, let's look. I went to y equals. I typed in 4 open parentheses, 3x plus 6 close parentheses, then 7 open parentheses, x plus 1 close parentheses. Second trace 5. Enter, 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 and my answer was -3.4. Did we put it in wrong? Okay, try to set this one up. What do you have to put? Does it matter which one you put on which side? No. As long as the cross products that belong together go together. Bless you. Okay, check it with mine once you're finished. Make sure we're getting the correct answer. Did everybody get negative 5.9? All right, easy. What's the only thing you're really going to mess up on if you don't do? You got to put parentheses, okay? So when you do your assignment, this is how much work I expect you to show. I want to see what you put in your calculator, and that's it, and then the answer. Are we good? Okay, flip to the back. Now we're going to learn how to set up word problems, and you guys are going to think this is super easy because you've been doing these since 6th grade. Okay, they're 6th grade word problems. All right, when you have things that are proportional, like I have a rate and a ratio, you can make a...
bracket.
Yes, but I think they taught y'all to make a box.
Oh.
Y'all remember? All right, let's look at it. Georgia is making potting soil. For every 4 buckets of peat moss, she uses 3 buckets of perlite. Now, I don't know what they're talking about because I don't know what peat moss and perlite is. But I saw that they gave me 2 numbers that go together. That is called a ratio. Yes? Are we good? And to make my ratio so that I can have a box, I just need to write down what they represent. So what 2 quantities am I comparing? No, don't give me numbers. What quantities? So I have peat moss, and what's my other quantity I'm comparing?
Perlite.
Perlite. I don't know what those are, and I don't care. So to do these problems, all you have to figure out is what am I comparing? They're going to give you 2 things, you compare them. Are y'all ready? The ratio they gave me was 4:3. 4 belongs to, so it must go on top. 3 belongs to, so it has to go on bottom. They want me to figure out if I use 10 buckets of peat moss, how many perlite should I use? So where would 10 go? And what would I put right here? X. Whatever you want, a variable. And now you use cross products and solve. Yes? Same thing we just did. 4 times x is 4x. 10 times 3 is 30. You want to put that in your y equals, or you want to just divide by 4? Yeah, like let's use our brains here and don't do too much work. Divide by 4. And 30 divided by 4 is? So I just leave my answer like that? So what am I talking about? Buckets of perlite. Okay, the next one. Do y'all know what a scale drawing is? Architects use them. Okay, so like let's say I wanted to draw the school to scale. I obviously can't draw the school on a piece of paper with the actual size, right? It just takes it but keeps it proportional and then like mini sizes it. Okay, that's what a scale is. 1 centimeter is representing on my picture 85 kilometers. What did they just give me? My ratio, and they told me the 2 things I'm comparing. So I'm going to label my box centimeters and kilometers. And I'm going to put the ratio they gave me in my box, 1 and 85. Then they're telling me that on my drawing from Cleveland to Cincinnati, it's 4.2 centimeters. So where would that go? Then they said, how many kilometers would that actually be? So I put an X. And how do I solve this? Cross multiply and divide. 1 times X is 1X. And 85 times 4.2 is 357. Now, a lot of you might have been able to read this and known to just multiply because this is 1. But I'm teaching y'all how to set up ratios because this might not be 1. What if it was 2? So you still have to know how to set it up, okay? So 357 what? Kilometers. Y'all want to try to set up the next one? All right, go. Okay, before you go any further, what two what two quantities were you comparing?
Food and body weight.
Food and body weight. Perfect. Keep going. Okay, check it with mine. How'd we do? Did we label it correctly?
Yes.
Good. The last kind that you might see is called a similar figure. This line right here, this squiggly line, means similar. And to be similar means to be proportional. So they basically took this triangle and made it bigger to make this one. But it's proportional because they're telling you it is. Yes? They're telling you that JK is 18 centimeters and KL is 8 centimeters. RS is 12 centimeters, and they're saying find QR. That's right here, yes? So what do y'all want to label that? X, because it's what I want to find. I must set up ratios and cross multiply and divide. Are there more than one way to set up your ratio? Yes. The way that I like to do it is by corresponding sides. The sides in the same spot. So this side corresponds with what over here? This one. So that would be my first ratio. That's the way I like to do it. So I would do 18 over X is equal to, now, here's where students mess up. They put the wrong one on top. Yes, 8 and 12 is going to be a ratio. Do y'all agree? But because I chose to put 18 on top, I must put which one on top? 8, because they both belong to the same triangle. So 8 on top, 12 on bottom. Cross multiply and divide. Check your answer with mine. Okay, if y'all would put your name on your assignment so I can go through the directions. Everybody's putting their name on their assignment. Okay, here's what I expect for you to show for work. All I expect to see are the cross products. So for number 1, to show my work, I would say 55 times n is equal to 40 times 11, which is what? 440. And then you would put your answer, n equals, and put it in. Are we good? Now be careful because this entire page does not have parentheses. But you know that you have to put parentheses. For example, on number 4, this has to have parentheses when I do a cross product because that 7 is being multiplied by the entire a plus 6. Yes? So to show my work on this one, I would do 7 open parentheses, a plus 6, close, equals, and 21 times 4 is 84. Then all I have to do is put this in y1 and this in y2 and put a equals and whatever my answer is. Any questions on what's expected on the front? Does everybody understand the work you have to show? Is this fair? All right, flip to the back. On the back, they gave you the scale for 19 through 21. So it will be the same scale for all 3 problems. Yes? You can make your box by comparing inches to feet. This is the ratio they want you to use. Now, obviously, there's not 1 inch and 38 feet. That's the scale that they're giving you. So 1 inch, 38 feet, 5.5 inches, how many feet? And then you would put your answer. And what are you going to label your answer? Feet. Mm-hmm. Are we okay? Number 22 is a little bit challenging. They gave you 3 numbers, and ratios usually only have 2 numbers, but I know y'all did this in 6th and 7th grade. Okay? You have to realize, so y'all know how they make concrete? They put like a whole bunch of stuff together and then they mix it up, right? They're telling you to make concrete, you need 1 part Portland cement, 2 parts sand, and 3 parts gravel. So A is just saying how many total parts are there? They're trying to help you solve B. So for total parts, how many total parts am I putting in there?
6.
Okay? So that is going to be used to make your ratios for B. Because B wants to know, if I want to make 4 parts of sand, how many cement, sand, and gravel are in my mix? So I'm going to have 3 answers for that one. I might have to make quite a few ratios. But I needed to know that there's 6 total parts because it's always part over whole. Yes? Okay. And then number 23, they gave you the scale. 23 and 24 is super easy. 22 is challenging. All right, get busy. You have lots of time to get this done.